Did you attend the previous one? Because that was about me. I am ADHD. And it's not a disorder, you know, attention disorder, they call it. No, ADHD people have all the attention all the time for everything. So it's not a disorder, you know. It would be a disorder if you can only have attention for one or two things. But we have attention for everything all the time. It can be quite tiresome. This technology, everybody is talking about this technology. It's gonna make us out of our jobs. It's disruptive. It's gonna destroy complete industries. It's the newest, the latest thing humanity has ever produced. And I'm talking about this technology. In 1774, a Swiss clockmaker, well, the clockmaking industry was something that was really disruptive. Like this little robot, you know, it could write already. This is the granddaddy of ChatGPT, or the great-great-great-granddaddy. And it could actually write. And you could program it in the back with the disks that you put in the body. And only the extremely rich people could afford a machine like this. And the people that could not afford it were not even allowed to look at it. And that made those people very angry. And the poor people said, the rich people that have these machines, they don't have feelings. They are like, they're automatas. They're only machines, these rich people. That made it easier to decapitate them in those days. It's really true. So this granddaddy of ChatGPT was quite something. This one is made by a kid. When we launched ChatGPT, kids were like, "Wow, it can do my homework. It's gonna do my homework." And teachers would be like, "Hey, this is much too good to be true. From now on, you have to write it with hand. No prints are accepted anymore." So this kid built a 3D printer with that would write his homework with ChatGPT. That kid learned so much already because of this new disruptive technology. My name is indeed Rodger Werkhoven, and I am doing multiple projects because that's also what ADHD people are very good at, doing lots of cool things at the same time. I'm now helping what they're called, Bunny J, weird name. And Bunny J is famous for all these television programs. You know, the Kardashians, Black Mirror, where artificial intelligence is always the scary thing. And Peaky Blinders, Big Brother. And we're gonna work at a project together, Bunny J and me, where artificial intelligence is going to play a huge role. It's going to be like the Big Brother. The Big Brother was quite disruptive in those days, and it's going to be something similar, disruptive. And this is all like, just, you know, watch it, keep an eye on it, and I cannot tell you everything about it yet. So, as an independent creative director, I was invited by OpenAI the spring of 2022. And probably what they liked about me is the combination of being a nerdy guy, always playing with the computer of my daddy, the Commodore 64. And I was also, being a creative person, not this way. So not with all the paint and the action, etc., but always behind that little desktop with my little computer. And our art academy looked like this. So we made art with computers. And that was quite innovative in those days. That was in Utrecht, one of the first art schools in those days that had that possibility of full-time working with computer technology. And that's what they liked by at OpenAI, because they had a lot of developers, but they needed, in the spring of 2022, they needed creatives, creative directors. And OpenAI was founded by, I think, 8 people, but we all know these 3 Elon, who left because he thought it was not going to work. Sam and Ilya. And Sam is the guy that makes the product and makes the money for OpenAI. And Ilya is the guy that is developing the artificial general intelligence, AGI. That's the goal. That's the main goal. And why is that the main goal? Well, they were all, no kidding, science fiction fans. And of course, they were not afraid of robots. Robots are stupid things. There's not really any danger there. But they were a bit afraid of Skynet. Skynet is a science fiction early internet. And Sam Altman, he thought, if we are connecting everything through the internet, databases and knowledge and coding possibilities, and we gave it sensors, we gave it eyes, we gave it ears. The idea was that in such an internet, artificial general intelligence could accidentally come to existence. Like our brains also are, you know, a narrow biological intelligences combined. And well, the next speaker is going to explain a little bit more about that because he really studied it. But they were afraid that something very intelligent could come from the internet. And that's okay, but you want it to be aligned with the interests of humans. And so artificial intelligence, it is pretty welcome, but it must also know what our interests are and not trying to compete us for resources or whatever. But how do you do that? First, of course, how are you going to build it? Everybody thought, well, it's impossible. You're a bunch of crazy people. But then, how are you going to see if you get it aligned with what people want? And that is why where DALL-E came, what's the English? Came into being. DALL-E is not an image processor, text-to-image generator. Well, that is what it does, but it was built to help us see if the artificial intelligences that OpenAI, the GPT-2 model, the GPT-3 model, etc., if they, you know, are aligned with what we wanted from those models. And if you have DALL-E and you ask it for an astronaut riding a horse on the moon, which is, you know, DALL-E cannot just take something like that from the internet. It was not connected to the internet at all. But with those crazy ideas, then we could see if it understood us. Is it aligned with what we want? If we want an astronaut riding a horse on the moon, and it produces a crocodile swimming in a bottle of Bacardi, then it is not aligned. So these tests, DALL-E, was also meant just to see if the model is aligned, and they told us if we're ready with GPT-2 and 3, then we're going to pull the plug. Of course, Microsoft didn't think that was a good idea. But what would OpenAI want from a creative bunch of people? Because we were with 30, and they wanted people from all over the planet, from all cultures, because this AI has to be aligned with the whole of humanity. Cannot be just there for a certain part of humanity. It has to be embraced by all. And so they asked us individually, bring your culture. And for me, that is like, you know, bring Dutch culture. Like in the experimentation, I had this little painting. The painter, Vermeer, he never painted anything else than this. Yeah, lots of paintings, but this was the street he painted. So that little house and, you know, that little, this, nice. And then we were testing DALL-E if it understood this image prompt. So we asked it to finish it. And you can do that with DALL-E 2. This is 2 years ago. You could do this for 1 million times and it would never be the same. Really cool. What it did is it tried to understand what the whole thing is, you know, the structures and the touch of the painter, the clouds, to make it match. So we called this out painting. I think everybody has it now. all the other text-to-image tools also have it. And this one is made with DALL-E 3, the next model. And the animations are made with another artificial intelligence. And this is also going to be, you're going to see a little clip, a movie clip, the girl with the pearl earring, but then a couple of iterations. And I think there's music here. So if you have a volume slider in the back, be my guest. So what you saw is, it was for TEDx Amsterdam. These were DALL-E 3 images, very photorealistic, like this one. This is DALL-E 3, well, before we gave it to the public. Because what OpenAI doesn't want is this sort of realism. You know, for us, it was cool to see if the model understood us. And but if you need a photographer, if you see this tool as a replacement for photography, no, if you want a photographer, you have to call a photographer. So DALL-E 3 and ChatGPT isn't capable of doing this sort of realism anymore, because we brought that down. Also Sora, which I'm going to show you later, same story. So OpenAI, you know, like many other ugly office buildings, and from the inside, nothing like a research lab, or, you know, it's quite a cozy, well, 2 years ago anyway, the Microsoft money could buy OpenAI fantastic interior designers, so it looks a bit different now. But here, you know, Sam would do these hackathons, and lots of people would attend them. There's a great creative vibe going on there. So a lot of developers in for doing some experimentation. And I was from Amsterdam, so I would be with these people, you know, Zooming with Natalie Summers, left corner. She's very important for OpenAI. She does a lot of these projects, also Sora. And so here we were, you know, sharing our experimentation and what we discovered, what issues, bias issues, looking for solutions. And also how to democratize its usability, because, you know, if all these cultures from all over the world have to work with artificial intelligences, then user interfaces have to make that a possibility. And in the meantime, Midjourney launched. They copied us and they thought we can make money with it. And then at OpenAI, they thought, well, perhaps we should also launch it and make money with it. So then from just testing a model, it became a product. And this is how we designed it. Like, there's people that they're a bit scared of writing a little text, a prompt. Because if you write something there and the AI gives you something back that you don't like, or you think is ugly, or other people are gonna laugh at you. So people were a bit, some people were a bit scared just writing something. Well, they could click an image and see how it was made, but the divergent thinking people, they are like, oh, a white box, I can type in anything I want. Whoa, watch me. And the other sort of people, the convergent thinking people, using logic, like, yeah, what should I type there? Why should I type anything? For what reason? Well, they could click images and see what they would result in. This is how it worked. You type something like hyper-realistic 3D octane render of an old lady that looks a lot like a bluish-pink poodle dog with a... So, you know, it is a prompt. It's not engineered. I just wrote it, you know, ADHD, lots of crazy words there. And then I got something awesome like this, you know, all these weird creatures. And then I would take one that I really fancied. I married with her recently. She's really lovely. And but for mobile, you know, it was just a square. And for mobile, if you want to do something with a mobile phone, then you need something on top and you need something at the bottom to make it a larger image. Well, that was the invention of that outpainting trick I showed you with Vermeer. Because it can make new stuff out of nothing and make it as big as you'd like, zoom out all the way. And that was something new. Instead of cropping and cutting away, growing images. That was really cool. So we also experimented with new types of DALL-E, because DALL-E 2, yeah, it was quite capable, but the resolutions, the colors, those were not so fantastic. This is DALL-E experimental, and that was like, well, the resolution and the details. Look at those eyes of these little creatures, very colorful creatures in their cages. These animals are called, I don't know if you know them, but they're called genuinen. The genuinen. Genuinen, you know them from the leather. All the leather is made of genuin. But you never see the animal. And what do we do with them? Do we eat them or what? There's so much genuine leather. Well, they're kept in these cages. It's terrible. And so it's an awesome creative tool, you know. Also, what we wanted is this possibility in ChatGPT. So with this experimental DALL-E, I was experimenting to get ChatGPT understand DALL-E. But these text-to-image generators, they couldn't write, not in the images. So here I was tricking. I was telling ChatGPT to spell the word peace, and then have it prompted to DALL-E 3 to put it in the image. And then it worked. So for the first time, we got DALL-E write words. And for instance, I made these Salvador Dali's, as if I met him in the Amsterdam bar, where the gallery is the gallery that sells my art, by the way, in Amsterdam. So Dead End Gallery, the shirts, the typography, and the realism. It is as if that old geezer is really there. Not possible anymore, because OpenAI's policy is also don't make existing people. Because you could put them in the wrong perspective, and you know, you could do nasty stuff to them. And that's not what this is meant for. I also tested the GPT store, and this one is really fun. I don't know, who has GPT Plus, ChatGPT Plus? Yes, so little. Because GPT 3.5 is free. It's a nice text generator. But this is not just a better text generator, GPT-4 Plus or Enterprise. This is so much more. You can build your own GPTs. For instance, I made one that's called Really Deep Thought. Knows the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. That's from the Hitchhiker's Guide of the Galaxy. Well, I made it. So it is now. If you have ChatGPT Plus, you can use this and ask it anything. Everything. You can ask it and it knows the answers. And it's really true. So there's people, is there a God? Well, ask it and it has the answer for you. Also another one is called Bauhaus, Brilliance. I made an interior designer. He also speaks a bit German and English mixed up. And this is how it works. So building your own GPT, like ChatGPT, but then give it your own tonality, is just natural language. It's just, this is coding, because you have to tell what you want from it. What it's going to do, the behavior of Bauhaus Brilliance, now personified as Ewald Bosgoed, a very good friend of mine, has been updated also. And so you tell GPT, ChatGPT basically, what this new GPT is going to be. And you can create whatever you want. So this interior designer, this is still how you build them. So on the left you have a whole discussion with ChatGPT. And on the right it shows you what it will look like, what it's going to do. So here you already see a interior design that this Bauhaus Brilliance is going to design for you. You can also try this one. its creative output looks like this. Well, not exactly, because here I said, because I made a whole backstory, so you can do that too. Here, I told him his lover is a fashion designer from Italy, and he is more into pop art and punk. So Bauhaus Brilliance. Ewald is more into Bauhaus and Art Deco. But if you ask him, let your friend design my apartment, then you get something like this, something completely different. This is more Ewald's own style. This is a hotel lobby. You can ask him to design anything. Exteriors too. I said, make me a Gucci store. Well, here's a Gucci store. And you can see the Art Deco. So that's the beauty of these GPTs. They only do what you want. It's not going to design anything else, but Art Deco, Bauhaus, bit Jugendstil. And he has a fetish for clowns. So in most of his designs, there's also a big clown. Well, you just tell it. If you design an interior or an exterior, I want you to put a clown in it. And it's really like this one. It could be the flagship store of Gucci. And as you can see, it can write in the images. And there's a clown inside. And so this is so much fun to build them yourself. So how did we get here? This is really funny. It's really playful. In 2015, for Google, these developers had to find a way to also make Google able to look in pictures, to search in pictures if they were not having a description to go with them. So they needed image recognition. So they built an AI that could see, oh yeah, there's a person playing with the ball on the beach. And so it could make complete sentences. Like here, people play with the ball on the beach. Well, that was quite an achievement from an AI to make a sentence of that. And then there was a funny, nerdy person at a Canadian university, and he said, oh, so this AI can describe images. Well, what if I turn it around? If I have a description, will it then make what the description says? Will it make these people playing with the ball on the beach? And this is, of course, not one of those experiments, but they chose to go for a green school bus parked in the parking lot. Why? School buses are yellow. There is no green school bus. So you could test, is this AI going to make me a green school bus? And yes, it did. And this tiny one was the first generated image. I blow it up here. This is that green school bus on the parking lot. And this was, so an artificial intelligence making out of nothing an image like a herd of elephants in the sky, or a bowl of bananas. Well, of course, it didn't look like much, but it was quite revolutionary. In the meanwhile, Elon didn't have the patience. He thought, yeah, stupid image making AI, this is not going anywhere. I want to get richer, and this is not getting me richer. So he went away, and Sam and Ilya, they stayed. And Sam decided to bring out these products. GPT, we're all grateful to him, but he is the Steve Jobs of OpenAI. He makes these products. And this product was the fastest growing app of all times. And you can also talk to it with this application. And so now it can make all these realistic images. And it's, of course, a lot of fun. You know, I wish that guy on the right was like, oh, I had enough of all that machoism. I'm going to be a colorful person in front of my Dutch. Elon in Amsterdam, Obama is a bit like, hey, are you okay? Shouldn't you get back to the Pope? We know these were famous. They become very popular, famous memes. The Pope even liked them. My mother was like, how can you show the Pope like that? That's not real. And then I said, yeah, Mama, how real is this? So deepfakes, are they going to destroy the structure of our society? You know, if people are going to get angry with each other over a Pope with a headset, well, we learned how to live with people that think that a guy walked over water. Quite a deep fake, and they came up with lots of those deep fake stories. But there's still people now, 2024, going to these buildings with that torture thing on the roof, that cross, and they think, yeah, that the guy walked over water, and we're still friends. You know, I eat with my mama and daddy with Christmas as an atheist. They don't push me out of the family. So I think that, yes, we can live with people that believe in deepfakes. And we just keep the discussion going. But, yeah, it can go wrong. This, we know Tank Man, everybody does. The guy that stood up for the tanks there in the difficult name square in China. But he never made a selfie. He didn't. But there's a deepfake of him making a selfie, and the Google algorithm thought it was real. So there's a challenge. Because if an algorithm thinks, oh, this is perfectly okay, if even AI thinks this is real, yeah, then we have a challenge at hand. Now, of course, they trained the algorithm that wasn't real. By the way, our politician, she looks really cool in the puffer jacket. And this wouldn't that be nice? You know, that looks better than you know, all the trouble and the. But this, yeah, could become dangerous, and this is not nice. In Midjourney, you can make this stuff, and perhaps people will be like, yeah, that's not real. Don't get mad now. But they can also get really angry if you do that stuff. And scammers already took $35 million from from a certain bank in Hong Kong. And they said, yeah, we're your boss. And this is the board. And they had these fake, deep fake personas made. And their voices sounded like the boss. And it, you know, it goes in a hurry, of course. You have to do it now, quick. And so, yeah, it is a technology that we also have to be careful with. The bias issue, in the beginning, a CEO, I got only white guys in blue suits. And we know that there's also lady CEO and people that are not so white as the guy on the left. They are also CEO. But how did we find out that it was so biased? And because we wanted to look it up and cut it out, but that was not possible. So we did these tricks. If I said, "Give me a white king," with playing chess, I got this king of Game of Thrones. But if I only would change black, then I got a half-naked guy. And that is because there's so much hip-hop in a model like that. It's the most popular style of music. Yeah, and in Miami it's quite warm. And so that's a bias, of course, that black guys are half naked. How did we free it of the bias shit? We couldn't get it out. It's entangled there in the latent space. But the trick to get something like this is latent prompting. So if people would ask for a CEO, then we would secretively add a lady, a European, an African, an American, without the people knowing it. And New Scientist thought that we were, you know, cheating. But yeah, that is how we got DALL-E to make all this diverse output. Well, that trick was Google saw it. This is their model, recently launched, Gemini. It made these images of the Pope. So they have that latent prompting, like a lady Pope, and not only white popes. Yeah, but then, you know, that's not really accurate, is it? Also, if you ask for a German soldier in 1943, well, it is diverse. So the latent prompting trick does work, but, you know, this is a bit too simple. I don't think that there were ladies Nazis or black guy Nazis. And with DID, that's another company together with OpenAI, we created this. We call it agents. And what it does is all these talking heads. At once, thousands of talking heads can address your customers and tell your customers about whatever issue, and you can make this all automated, have the thousands of interactions with these agents, and agents are going to be the future. Agents, and not on a screen. I think that agents, you know, also let's get rid of those boring black telephones. Let's get back those fun gadgets. This is such a fun gadget. This is a couple of weeks and then it's going to be sold. It's on your, you know, if you ordered it, pre-ordered it. This is contains an agent. You can talk to it. It's only $1.99. It learned how the internet works. It can click for you. You don't ever have to operate an application. It orders your pizzas. It helps you repair your Nest, whatever, because it knows what it's seeing. And it can do it ultra fast because of new technology. The 1-bit LLMs, they're tiny, they're fast, they can be on a chip, they will be in your mobile devices, not on the servers in San Francisco, but on your mobile device you will have this technology, and it is blazing fast. Well, trust me, you can look it up on the internet. And, oh yeah, and Sora, finally. This is not a video text-to-video model. It's not meant to make videos. It does make fantastic videos, but as I explained, these AIs need to be tested. And that is what Sora is about. It is testing, a way of testing if it understands the world. So Sora is a world model, is not a video generator. But video is a great way for us to see if it understands how a cat walks or how a dog skips from window to window. Does it understand the world? Because that is what we're trying to build, the AGI, Artificial General Intelligence, that understands our world and can serve us in that world of ours. Or teach our children about these magnificent animals that once roamed the planet. Or, you know, this is Tokyo. But look at how natural. This is not video, it's not copying video. It understands how people walk. It understands what is above and beyond. And it understands snow. It understands perspective. It understands traditions. This is showing us that it understands our world. And this one, even this is not Sora. This is people, researchers, that make images talk, but very naturally now. Even sing. This is so cool. It looks, yeah, you could, of course, probably it's going to be used as deepfakes. Also this technology, so be aware that it could not be real. The difference between a video creator, that's Runway, above, that is trained on video. That tries to make movement, like in video. But Sora understands the world. So that's the difference between Runway and Sora. So Sora is not a better Runway, Gen 2. No, it's a completely different thing. Runway tries to make video from video knowledge. And Sora makes video from knowledge of the world. And can also make music and poetry, etc. And the crazier the better. You know, my final slide. I'm a big fan of this artist because, you know, we're going to see so much new creativity, not just repeating what we already made, but then faster. No, new shapes, new storytelling ways. On Instagram, it's called Nice Aunties. And this girl makes all these wicked, cool things with artificial intelligence, and it's nice and weird. It's also because she does it with Runway, it doesn't understand the world, so it fucks up a lot, and then you get funny things. So, you know, Runway doesn't know how a car walks. So it makes up all this crazy stuff, which is fun too. So have lots of fun. I always say with this technology, don't be afraid of it. Artificial intelligence will not replace you. But somebody using artificial intelligence could replace your job. So, you know, but you all here, of course, are diving deep into it and having fun with it. And so that makes me feel quite relaxed. Thank you very much.